All right, you once again welcome back to the statistical package for social science class. And this time around, we want to perform test of significance, especially using the statistical package for social science. So, when we talk about test of significance, those are the t-test, ANOVA, correlation. So, we'll still be using the same statistical package for social science, but we are going to use so we'll continue with the set of data we have been using. If you look at it, we have already performed, see how we can compute our variable. You can check the previous video. We have also tried to do descriptive analysis. We have also tried to text, check some of the reliability index of some of the instruments that we use. We have also looked at a lot of things. Like I said, there are a lot of terminologies that the researchers can use. Like you may be asked to find the internal consistency. When you're asked to find internal consistency of an instrument, they definitely want you to perform reliability testing. And of course, they can also you should perform look for the reliability index of an instrument. If they are saying all this, they are still talking about reliability. But if you are asked to look for the pattern, like I said, pattern is like you are asked to perform the descriptive analysis, just to look at it one after the other. So when you check the previous video, you get answer to some of those things that I've talked about now. So we want to move on with the test of significance. So I will go back. What do you check? How do you know before you go on with a test of significance? The very first thing you just have to do, um, try to make sure that everything is good now. So the very first thing you do before you can perform your test of significance, which I will go to my data now. Of course, you can see all my data. So if I want to perform test of significance, there are two things to check. The first thing is that you check the dependent variable and the independent variable. Of course, we can distinguish, we can differentiate between the dependent variables and the independent variable. We know the difference between them. When we are talking about dependent variable, these are the variables you can manipulate, but independent variable on the other hand, these are the variables that you cannot manipulate. For instance, gender, you can't manipulate gender. A male is male, a female is male. You cannot manipulate age, you can't manipulate qualification as well. So when we look at this now, how do you know when to use t-test? How do you know when to use ANOVA? So immediately you get your data, the first thing to check, let me quickly run you through what we have here, especially on the demographic data. If I run you through the demographic data here now, you will see that what is the categories of gender here, which cause sex, is 2. So an independent variable that is 2. Okay, fine. Let's look at another one. You look at the age, the category is what? 4. Okay, let's look at qualification, 4 as well. Okay, let's look at the status in the university. How many are they? 5. Okay, what other things? Let's look at the types of university. How many are they? 2. Okay, so those are the demographic data. So if you are now asked to find significant difference between a particular dependent variable and those one that has categories of 2, that means you will use t-test. I will repeat myself. If the categories of the independent variable is 2, you will make use of t-test. But if it is 3 or more, you will make use of analysis of variance. I think I've clarified that now. So That means if we are going along with our question and you see based on gender, you make use of t-test. Why? Because it is just two. But let's see, if they say based on age, what are you using? Great, you are using ANOVA because it is more than three. But if it is qualification, great, you will use ANOVA because it is more than three. What about status? ANOVA because it is more than three. Okay. What about types of university? Two. Good. You make use of t-test because it is two. Okay. So now, of course, you are using that along with other things. So let's take, for instance, let us say you are asked to find, is there any significant difference? Is there any significant? Look at how the question can be in this form in your research hypothesis. They can be like, is there any significant difference? Look at it. Is there any significant difference in the managerial level? What do we have here? If I come here now, can you see? Can you see? Is there any significant difference in the managerial level of the lecturer based on their gender? If they say based on their gender, what is gender? Gender is what? Sex. So what is the categories of the gender there? Two. So that means you are making use of t-test. So let's first of all run that now on that t-test. So we are looking at significant difference, significant difference on what? On this dependent variable, that is the managerial level, based on the gender of the lecturer. So you come back here and click on analyze. Of course, when we are talking about significant difference, you are talking about compare mean. Can you see that? You are comparing the what? The mean. So comparing the mean, which one are you using? You are using t-test. So which one are you picking now? So you go and pick t-test, compare mean. So I'll take that again. Go back here, click analyze because it is t-test. Click on compare mean, select independent sample t-test. Can you see that? So once you click that, the target variable, that is the what? The dependent variable. So what is our target variable now? Our target variable is the managerial skill. So you drop it here, which is the dependent variable. Then the independent variable on the other hand, that is the grouping variable. So which is the sex. Sex is more or less as the gender. Some may use sex, some may use gender. Can you see that now? So once you push it here, you have to define it. So in defining it, your 1 is 1 and your 2 is what? Is 2. Then you click continue and you click OK. So you have quickly run your test of significance, which is on what? Which is t-test, which is on gender. Can you see that now? So when you look at it now, the managerial skill questionnaire, can you see that? Can you see that? This is the mean difference. So we'll come back after the whole thing to talk about how we interpret the table, what and what do we take out of the table, what and what do we put inside the table. So I will run one more. Which of these can also go for t-test again? Okay, so types of university. So let's go on types of university. Compare mean, independent sample t-test. Don't forget, once you run there and you are coming back, you need to reset. So you push gender into where? No. So you come back here, your target variable, which is what? Managerial skill. Okay, let me try to reset here. We are done for managerial skill. We want to look for another. Yes, let's look for the lecturer administrative questionnaire. So you push it what? Here. Based on the gender. Type of university. Okay, or let's make it based on types of university. Where is the type? This is type of university. Even once you put it here, you will know if the grouping is 2. Once it is more than 2, it will tell you you can't do anything like that. So you continue. So this one now, what does this mean? What research hypothesis is this one answering? It is answering there is no significant difference in the lecturer admin questionnaire or lecturer administrative style based on types of university. So based on type, now come and look at the table now. You can see that this is the type of university, which is state and federal. Can you see that? In the mean, can you see? This is their mean, this is their standard deviation, then this is the t-test, the independent sample t-test table. So from here now, you can see their significant level. But when we get to where we interpret the table, I'll talk more on that. So that is that on t-test. So let's go back to those one that can talk about ANOVA now. Don't forget, the rules is that once you are testing a significant difference that is based on two categories, you make use of t-test. But if it is 3 or more, you make use of analysis of variance. And that is why I'm doing it. So let's see this now. So when you go back here now, you click your analyze. So go to compare mean. This time around now, what are we doing? We are moving to one way ANOVA. Can you see that? Still on the same approach. You want to look at significant difference in the lecturer administrative skill, which is the what? The dependent variable, based on what? Based on the age. So if it based on the age, you can see that age is 3 or more. So based on the age, you put the age here. Can you see that now? So I've pushed the age here now. So once you have done that, you click OK. Some can go ahead and do post hoc. Okay, so let's select our post hoc. Which one are you doing? Are you using Sheffer? Or when do we use Sheffer? When do we use other? But okay, let's just leave it at. You can see the significant level 0.05 because it's an education, what is it called? Education research. If it were to be in sciences or in medical, it has to be 0.01, which is 99% confidence interval. So you click continue and you click what? Okay. Can you see? That's my ANOVA what? My ANOVA table. You can see that. Can you see that now? So that is my ANOVA table. And you can see the lecturer administrative, the between the group, within the group, you can see the value. And this is the significant level of this. So when you are copying on your chapter 4 for your data analysis, is that not? Yes, so you take this table. If it were to be in the case of exam, you just copy this table on your booklet. But if it is in case of what is it called, research, you just pick this and put it on your report, either your data analysis or you are putting it on your report or wherever you are using it. So let's take one more. Let's take one more. What other things can we run here? If they were asking us, is there any significant difference based on educational? We have done based on educational qualification. Let's see that of educational qualification. If they are saying, is there any significant difference in the managerial skill of the lecturer based on their educational qualification? Can you see that now? Educational qualification is 4. Then that means you have to use analysis of what? Variance, which is ANOVA. So let's run ANOVA with that. So you click, select what? Compare mean. On the compare mean, just select compare mean. Don't forget you have to reset here. Then the first thing to do is to go and pick the dependent variable, which is the managerial skill, and push it in the dependent list. And you go back to that. What are you picking now? Educational qualification of the lecturer, and you put that one inside the word factor, and you click OK. Can you see that? It has run that for you quickly. Managerial skill questionnaire within the group, between the what? The group. So when we come back, the next video, you see how to copy your table and how to do interpretation of the table. Or should we let's pick one more. Because we are talking about test of significance. So let's quickly look at a situation whereby if they come here now and they now say, let's check our variable now. Because some people have been asking, I think I got a question like that. What if they said, is there any significant difference, or how can we put it, significant difference between the lecturers, look at it here, the lecturer administrative and their managerial skill? You can see that this one, both of them, they are more or less as the variables you computed. So in that wise, you are going to cross tab. Do you get that now? You are going to cross tab. You are going to use correlation this time around. So how do we run correlation? You select your analysis. Where do you go? You go to correlate, bivariate. Once you select your bivariate, you can see I performed something down there. So you have to reset. So we are picking the two, which is what? Lecturer and what? Just push the two, or you can push it one by one. The lecturers, administrative, then the managerial skill, you push the two here. You can look at the option. So you can pick the means and the what and the standard deviation. Just continue. You can use select your style. So when you look at it now, everything is in order. You are not adding anything. Then you go back. It's already on two tail. Can you see that? Then it's already on two tail and piercing. Can you see that now? Then you click your OK. So that means I have tried to cross tab the two. So a questions like that can, like I said, can come in form of, I just want to look at a question like that can come in form of, they can say perform a test of significance on the hypothesis that say there is no significant relationship. So that's relationship. So don't forget that once you hear significant relationship, you are making use of correlation, which is what I have done for you now. When you hear there is no significant, look at it. When they say, look at it, there is no significant relationship between the what? The lecturer administrative effectiveness and their managerial skill. So you are going to what? Correlate the two. Let me run that one for you again. Let me say, if another question come in form of, let's look at this one now. There is no significant relationship between the CSFQ and committee system factor and the lecturer administrative. So I'm going to correlate the two together now. So I'll just go and select, what am I doing? Correlate, bivariate, just reset this, and then come back to where are you coming to? You are picking the CSFQ, that's the committee system factor. You push it here with the lecturer's administrative. Put the two here. Check the option. Check your what? Your mean and standard deviation. Continue. Check your style. Is it in all? Okay. Is in order. Then look at it. Is on. Make sure, because probably because my own system is already on default on two tail. If it's on one tail, you have to bring it back. Then it must be on what? On piercing as well. Then click OK. Can you see that now? Within 1 minute, I've just tried to correlate my CSFQ and the lecturer's administrative performance of this. So let's see, that is how far we can go. Let me just try to see if there's anything we can have. That's how far we can go on this. So you join us in few minutes on the other platform where we'll be having our live class, an interactive class to talk about some of those things we can do here. So thank you and God bless you.